Hey, what's up? What's up? Welcome to another show here with Sheryl's Network Live, where we bring you tips, ideas, and strategies to take your business to many levels beyond. We interview professionals across the country and around the world. And today, I'm so excited to have my dear friend, Verner Dixon.
Thank you.
Right here with me. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Very happy to be here.
Very nice
happy
to have you. Now, we've been friends for a long time. Goes way back to my days of Diamond Star, I think, and doing events. And
Right.
you've always been just a class act in business.
Thank you.
I'm just honored to have you here on the show.
Well, I appreciate being here, and you've always been that individual as well that I look up to, as it were,
Well,
because
thank you.
you had that professional demeanor, which I've really enjoyed being in your presence. So
Thank you
great.
so much. So now your business is VM Enterprise.
Yes.
And that encompasses a few things because you're also a consultant.
Yeah.
I know you came way back from the place of IBM, did you not?
I was at IBM for 15 years. And I started. I was actually trained as a programmer going into IBM. Started in a mailroom, worked my way up through data processing,
Wow.
marketing support, and then I was in sales for 9 years as well. So made 700% clubs. So that was awesome back then as well.
Huge experience.
Yes,
That's awesome.
yes.
And so now you are with you have a couple of things that you
Yeah.
consult on, but there was a particular business that you're in that really interested me because I don't know much about it, really know nothing about it. And it's called Bitcoin. And
Bitcoin.
It's so I'd like you to explain to us, what is Bitcoin?
I get so excited, so you'll have to control me if I get out of control with Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a phenomenon right now. It's actually been around since 2009, and it's a peer-to-peer representative of currency. And I'm putting in the terms so people will understand what I'm talking about. Back in the old days, people used to, back in the caveman days, you used to trade seashells for meat, those kind of things. And so basically what we're doing with Bitcoin is creating a currency with digital processing. And the way that happens is a mathematical algorithm that has to be solved by the network or nodes on the network. The systems that solve it get paid in Bitcoin. The Bitcoin value is going absolutely to the moon. Actually starting out at zero, and right now, before I left, I think it was at about $3,400 per coin today.
Really? So
Yeah.
do you invest by buying a coin?
You can invest by buying a coin. I tell those folks who aren't familiar with Bitcoin and they're interested in getting involved, first thing you need to do is get a wallet. And then determine where you want to get your Bitcoin from. And there's several places you can do that. You can get it from Coinbase, you can get it from other exchanges out there, or I also provide Bitcoin as well to my clients. But in some cases, you don't need money to get started because I have options to allow you to get started that way as well.
Really? So a person with no capital to invest could really get started?
Yes. Guaranteed they can get started with
Well,
no
that will
capital
open
to
it up
invest.
to many, many people out there listening, I would think. And so is Bitcoin, is it network marketing?
It can be, depending on the organization that you get involved with. But in terms of just buying and getting involved in Bitcoin, that is not network marketing. That's just buying and selling currency. You can go into the Forex market. You can just go into just a regular market, buying and holding, and just waiting on the currency to increase and do it that way. I've got one client that they're in their 80s, but they've heard so much about Bitcoin, and first thing they thought about it was, oh, that's so much drugs and all the things that they think about. But they knew about the income possibilities. So what we did was took a couple of $1,000s and just set it into a blockchain account and just watch it grow. So we took $2,000 in over 6 months. It's over $7,700 in that 6 month period.
$2,000 to $7,700 in 6 months. That's quite a good growth. I'd say.
I almost said that's a darn good growth.
Yeah, I would say so. So anyone would get excited about that.
Yeah.
So I've heard, because you hear things about these things that are out there and when you don't really know much about it, but I've heard about people that have put in, maybe a couple $1,000s or back when one coin was worth a lot less, they bought a coin and then suddenly 18 months later or something, it was worth hundreds of thousands. Is that true?
That is absolutely true. Actually, they're expecting Bitcoin this year to go up to $5,000 plus per coin. Some of the prognosticators have said $7,500 by the end of the year, $50,000 by the year 2020. One coin.
So why is that happening? What is it?
Because there's a scarcity that's coming. When Bitcoin was introduced, they decided that it was Satoshi Nakamoto who designed it and put out the white paper and said there's only going to be 21 million Bitcoins. Even though those Bitcoins can be broken up into what we call Satoshis, there's only 21 million out there, and half of them have already been mined. Mining is that process of solving that mathematical algorithm. Over half of them have been mined. So it's just like, and I hate to put it in terms of an artist. You do a painting and you put it up on your wall and you let it set, and then you put it in your vault and you let it set, and then the artist passes away, the value goes up. Bitcoin is working the same way.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and not only is that one coin, I mean, people hear about Bitcoin, but Bitcoin falls in the category of what we call cryptocurrency. And there's 931 different currencies out there. I participate in the top 20 out there. So there's others.
Through Bitcoin?
Through the network, through the blockchain, through the network.
A blockchain.
Yes. Bitcoin is the grandfather of all the coins. And then there's Ethereum, there's Ripple, there's Exponent, there's Arnon, Litecoin, and there's others as well.
And so then this is all online, isn't it?
Yes.
And so then, for a person that has, let's say that, I had $2,000 and so I wanted to invest it, and then pretty soon it's worth $4,000. Can I go take some of that out?
You can take it out.
How does one get it out?
Well, I mean, in terms of me, when I buy Bitcoin, I have an account, an exchange that's attached to my bank account. So I can buy Bitcoin with my transfer of currencies into the system. And so I just do that reverse transfer, sell the Bitcoin and have it put in my account. If you're in a system that's generating Bitcoin on a day-to-day basis, you don't get involved in the system unless that system allows you to put that money into a separate account on a regular basis, whether it be daily or if there's a certain amount, maybe it needs to be $10, $20 before you can make that transfer. Don't get involved in something where you can't get immediate access to your funds.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because, there's horror stories about things like this of different companies in the past where people invested all this money and then it was the government closed it or what, I don't know what happened, but it was gone. I know one story, I'll never forget the story. A woman took all of her husband's money out of his 401k, put it into this thing, and it was gone.
It was gone.
Up in smoke. Does that happen with Bitcoin?
Unfortunately, it does. Just like any other thing. People take their money and invest it in stock or any other thing. So you have to be extremely careful about how or where you put your money. I have done that myself, looking at the fact that Bitcoin is going up so much, and it's called greediness. And I consider the losses that I've had so far my education. So based on that education, I make sure that I vet all of the providers that I'm working with now. I make sure that they are vetted. I make sure that I can touch the individuals who started the company, started the thing, make sure that they have a history in this process as well. So I'm comfortable if anyone wants to contact me and talk about it or interested in getting involved, I can get them involved in some pretty safe ventures.
So then you really have to know who you're working with.
Exactly.
Is really what you're saying.
Exactly.
It's just like, working with a financial planner and knowing someone that really knows how to do that investment.
Yes.
So that they don't lose your money.
Yeah.
Same kind of thing.
Perfect. That's perfect.
Wow. So this is really interesting and exciting. So the scarcity that you talked about, is it because, our regular paper money is going away?
Think about what the value of money is now. I mean, many, many years ago, you get a loaf of bread for 35 cents. I mean, what does a loaf of bread now cost you? $3, $4, $5? Yeah, too much. Money used to be based on something. There used to be an intrinsic value. But right now, there is no intrinsic value because money is printed at the will of the government. The value is in what it costs for the ink and the paper. because it used to be on gold and some other but that's gone. That's gone. And so now people are saying, well, the dollar is the fiat currency. In a lot of countries, you know, it takes barrels of fiat currency to get anything. Banks are closing. Financial infrastructures are going down. So people are seeing Bitcoin or cryptocurrency as a way to avoid that. Not only avoid that, but avoid the expense of working with a bank. I mean, you take your credit card, banks, financial institutions charge for that. When I do wire transfers, even to buy Bitcoin, banks have an astronomical, like for instance, I've transferred $5,000 into my to purchase Bitcoin, and the banks charge me $50, you know, in and out in terms of the wire transfer. I can take that same amount of money and send it around anywhere around the world for less than $5.
Oh my goodness!
So that's awesome. That's phenomenal.
Wow.
So a lot of people are getting away from those financial institutions. But what's happening now is the financial institutions are turning the table, and now they want to get involved. So they're looking for ways to get involved because they see that there's still a lot of income to be made, even if they don't have to charge what they've been charging in the past.
Interesting. So now, what type of client would be your ideal client?
My ideal client would be those clients who are sitting around, and I run into people like this every day. Somebody mentioned something about cryptocurrency, Bitcoin in particular. Oh, I've heard about that, you know, but you know, and I know it's doing some things, and I've always been interested, but they've never made a decision to take the next step. Again, for the most part, it's because they don't know anybody who knows anything about cryptocurrency to ask and follow up.
So they need to be educated.
Correct. And so I'm open to educating anybody. So I don't look for a specific person, only someone who's interested in learning about the industry, not just making a couple of bucks, but learning about what's really going on so they can take advantage of the opportunity.
So do you do speaking engagements? Do you speak to groups about this topic and things like that?
I speak to groups about this topic every Thursday in the evening. I make a presentation for a company called USI Tech. And I make that presentation, and I feel comfortable enough and vindicated enough to do this for this particular company, because this company will give you an opportunity to start getting investment for free. I shouldn't say investment. They don't like us to say anything about investment, but get involved for free, and you can still generate an income.
Wow. And so is that event open to the public?
It's open to the public. All you need to do is give me a call and give them the information where to go and what to do.
All right. And what is your number that you would like people to call?
Give me a call at 702-580-9397. That's Verner Dixon, 702-580-9397.
Perfect. And so is there any last words of advice that you would like to leave our listeners with?
I guess the last bit of advice is what I tell my son. I said, don't leave this world with regrets. Don't get to the point where you say, I regret that I didn't do such and such. Just don't do it. If you're thinking about something, do it. Whether it be cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, or anything else in your life, just don't have those types of regrets.
That's such a great piece of advice.
Thank you.
Very, very good. And so here we have Verner Dixon with VM Enterprises talking on this very interesting topic of Bitcoin. So give him a call. His information is there. Again, give us your phone number.
Number again is 702-580-9397.
And thank you again for joining us here at Sherial's Network Live. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.